get your season started after it was cut short last year. I guess, just first of all, what's the focus on heading into the season, and how exciting is it just to, get going again?
Yeah, we're super excited to get started. It's been a long time since we've played, feels like forever. But we've just been really focusing on the little things, and I think we're tired of playing each other, so we're definitely excited for this season to start.
Charles Moore with the College Heights Herald. Congratulations on being named to the Preseason All-Conference Team. What kind of pressure does that put on your shoulders as an athlete to be named to that kind of list?
I don't really think it puts too much pressure. I don't really tend to look at awards or anything like that. We just look at taking it game by game, and I really focus on going pitch by pitch. So I wouldn't really say there's any pressure. We just focus on taking all the little moments and putting it into the game.
Wyatt Richardson with the extra point on campus. Like you said before, you got cut short last year. Coming back, what's your guys' goals this year?
I think kind of just what I said, really just focusing on game by game. With COVID this year, it's a little bit different. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. So, for example, if something happens out of our hands, if we don't get to play a conference series, we really need to focus on just taking it game by game and focusing on getting every win that we can get.
Hey, Kelsey, Jared with the Daily News again. You guys are picked to win the division, C-USA East. You guys got off to a good start last year at 20-5 before things shut down. I think returned 17 players from that squad. The expectations are there, and it seems like that's the case with every team at Western Kentucky. But I guess what do you see as kind of the strong suits for this group heading into the season?
This fall and this preseason, we've really been focusing on each aspect of the game. Pitchers are very focused in their bullpens. We've been doing a bunch of hitting, and our infield has been taking it every step that they can. So I think we've really been focusing on every aspect. So we're just waiting to put everything together.
Charles with the College Heights Herald again. Are there any areas that you specifically have been focusing on? Like, are there any parts of your game that you've been really trying to hone over the off season?
Looking from stats at last year, you can get better in every aspect. So something specific for me is cutting down walks. But other than that, we just really been focusing on getting ahead in the count and making batters chase at pitches and just cutting out on walks and giving something for our defense to work for.
Wyatt Richardson again with the extra point. You guys open up this weekend. What do you, expect from this weekend from your team?
We're just really hungry. I think what's really good for us is last year when we got to play our series against Middle, it showed our younger kids what it's like to play conference teams. So I think that definitely helped us out. But we're just really hungry and we're ready to get out there. So I'm hoping that we're going to come out really strong.
Hey, Kelsey, Jared with the Daily News again. I know you said you weren't focused really on the personal accolades, but, Shelby and Kendall also named to that preseason all-conference team. With those two specifically, I guess, what's your relationship like and how exciting is it to get another season with them?
Yeah, it's super exciting. It was really scary when we got our season taken away from us. That's really all I thought about. But definitely got a good relationship with both of them. We have a really good staff heading into the season, and we're just excited to get ready.
Anything else for Kelsey?
Yeah, I've got one more. The Conference USA tournament, I know that's a long way away at this point, and you never know what's going to happen in the season, but it's in Bowling Green. Looking ahead to that, how do you not look too far ahead at that? And, but just how exciting is it to have that on your home field?
It's super exciting. I've been waiting that since my freshman year. I love playing at home, and we just have a great atmosphere here at Western, so I'm super excited for that.
All right, anything else? All right, we'll be back in a second.
Last year obviously got cut short with the virus. And you guys, like Kelsey just said, are kind of tired of playing against yourself. How exciting is it to, get the season started in about a week?
It's really exciting. Just like Aikey said, we're tired of scrimmaging each other. We get so competitive. So I'm so excited to just play someone else and take all that competitiveness and just, push it towards the other team.
Charles Moore with the College Heights Herald. Again, congratulations on making the preseason all-conference team along with two of your other teammates. Same thing I asked Kelsey. Does that put any kind of pressure on your shoulders as an athlete to deliver on those kind of expectations?
I think it does. Just from last year, I also was on the preseason team, and you just go out every game and you have these expectations that you have to perform every game. So I think it's a little bit of pressure, but this year I think all of our mentalities are different, and because our season can get cut short at any moment. So I think we're all just going out playing every game like it's our last because it could.
Wyatt Richardson for the extra point. What goals does your team have this season since it got cut short last year?
I also think just taking every game just like one at a time, focusing on the little details and just coming together as a unit and having each other's backs no matter what. Because with COVID, if someone is taken out and can't travel or can't play that weekend, like we have to have people to step up in that position. So I think that's what we're really focusing on right now.
Hey, Kendall. Jared with the Daily News again. As a catcher, you get a different perspective on some of the pitchers, including Kelsey and Shelby named to the preseason all-conference team as well. I guess, what are your thoughts on the pitching staff this year?
I'm very excited. We went from having 1 to 2 pitchers on the staff to 5 good pitchers on our staff. So I'm very excited. I mean, I'm with them every day. They all have different personalities. And I mean, I love them all in their all different ways, but I'm very excited to see what the season holds.
Charles Moore with the College Heights Herald again. Are there any goals that you've set specifically for yourself? Any kind of stats you want to work on this season over the course of the year?
I think one of my big stats is just with catching. I don't want any runner to steal on me. I want to throw them all out, which I know it's a crazy goal, but that's just something I really worked hard on since I've been here as a freshman. And then just with hitting, I mean, everyone wants to hit. So, I mean, I always keep that in the back of my head.
Anything else for Kendall?
Yeah, I've got one more for you. Kind of the last one I asked Kelsey a minute ago. The Conference USA tournament is going to be in Bowling Green this year. How motivating is that, to try to get a good spot in the tournament and, kind of help you guys out throughout the regular season?
It's very exciting. Like Aikey said, been waiting for this moment. Last year it was supposed to be our moment, got cut short. So we're not going to take it for granted. We want every fan possible to come. We want to have that environment. Just with Western, the environment with any sport, it's very huge. So we're very excited.
Anything else for Kendall? All right, we'll be back in a second.
Thanks, Kendall.
Thank you.
All right, we've got Shelby Nunn here. Go ahead with questions when you're ready.
Hey, Shelby, this is Jared McDonald with the Daily News here in Bowling Green. You guys got 25 games in last year. You play in 14 with a 1.15 ERA, the best in C-USA. I guess, coming off of a shortened season where you had that much success, I guess, what was your focus during the off season and now heading into this year?
I think it's just carrying that motivation onto this upcoming season. I know I couldn't have gotten that ERA without the defense behind me and Kendall catching me and just being able to have that team focus carried over to this season.
Charles Moore with the College Heights Herald. Congratulations on being named to the preseason all-conference team. Just wondering, what kind of pressure does that put on your shoulders as an athlete to have those expectations put on you?
I don't really classify it as pressure. I think it's kind of more motivation. It is an honor to receive the award, especially since it's given by the league's coaches. But it gives me that motivation, just keep pushing forward and continuing working as hard as I can.
Wyatt Richardson for the extra point. Kind of what Jared said, kind of what goals do you have for this season since you got cut short last year?
I think this season we're just looking forward to taking pitch by pitch and just having that team fundamentals that we've all been working on this season and just seeing what we can put together.
Shelby, Jared with the Daily News again. The schedule just got released to the public, it looks like. I believe there was 46 games from just a quick glance at it. But Kendall talked about the depth on the pitching staff and how it seems like it's more than it has been maybe in years past. With that many games and you never know what's going to happen with COVID and all that and who can play and who can't, how important was it to try to create more depth? And I guess what are your thoughts on the staff this year?
I think we have an excellent staff. We're all different in each ways. We all throw different things. We all move different ways. All have different personalities, and I think that'll be key into moving forward this season.
It's Charles again from the College Heights Herald. Was there anything you worked on specifically over the off season, whether it be mechanics or any sort of thing like that? Anything that you specifically been focusing on as you prepare for this season?
Of course, I've been working on, pitching and just trying to fine tune everything for this season. But another thing I've been trying to work on is just making myself available to the team, whether it's, pitching extra to them, either catching ground balls for them, just trying to make myself available for them.
Shelby, Jared. Yeah, I've got one more, Jess. Shelby, this is Jared with the Daily News again. You're from Bowling Green, South grad. The Conference USA tournament is in Bowling Green this year. What kind of opportunity does that present to you and the team, and how much does that mean to you?
I think it's awesome. Bowling Green is an awesome community to be a part of, especially coming from South, Kendall coming from Warren East. It'll just that rivalry and it's be nice to be on the same team and just bring that competition for Bowling Green. And I think it'll be a wonderful opportunity.
All right. Anything else for Shelby? All right. We'll be back with Coach Tudor in a minute.
Thanks, Shelby.
All right, we have Coach Tudor here. She'll begin with an opening statement, and then we can go into questions.
Good morning. Nice to see you guys. I'm thankful to be here and excited to talk about this year's team. We're excited about where we are and where we're trying to go. I've got a good group of young ladies that have been working really hard, good mindset, good focus, really preparing on building on what we did last year. Taking that experience into this year and looking forward to getting to play softball again.
Hey, Coach, this is Jared McDonald with the Daily News here in Bowling Green. I know you just said excited to get started, but the preseason poll and, all conference teams came out just the other day. You guys were picked to win C-USA's East Division. You're coming off a 20-5 shortened season last year, so the expectations are kind of in place to, continue that success. I guess what kind of expectations do you have for this team?
I think one of the biggest expectations is to not get complacent and to continue to strive to get better every day. Those are things that we try to install in them, whether or not we're picked 8th or we're picked 1st. How do we view ourselves? How do we want to play the game? Things that we think they're important in playing this game and representing our school in the best manner possible.
Charles Moore with the College Heights Herald. We just had a chance to talk to your 3 athletes that made the preseason all-conference poll. I was just wondering, are there any other athletes on your squad that you think have really stood out in practice in the run-up to the season? Is there anybody we should be keeping our eye on to maybe have a real breakout year?
Yeah, obviously those 3 were honored for their play last year and basically throughout their whole entire careers they've been here. But yeah, I think Kennedy Sullivan is someone that shines at a lot of different positions. She pitches, she plays outfield, you'll see her more out there. And then she'll be hitting in the meat of our lineup. So she's a special player. I know she wasn't picked for that preseason award, but I think she'll do big things for us this year. I think we've got a lot more experience in that junior class as well. So, Jordan Thomas has hit leadoff for us for the past 3 years, and has done a really nice job of that, and has always been adaptable is what I would say for her. Whether it's playing second, playing outfield, she is a true outfielder, being a lefty, but always willing to do whatever. And then I feel like some of the freshmen that returned with Sanders, Webster, and Briley all got significant playing time last year and played huge roles on our team. And even with Taylor Davis, I think she ended up leading our team in batting average. So I think the biggest thing is that we finally have some competition in every spot. So practices are better, therefore it makes everyone else better, competing against better athletes. So it'll be fun to see who decides to shine this season.
Wyatt Richardson with the extra point. Your team, it's been motivated probably since last season to get this season going. How do you continue that motivation throughout this season?
Well, I think, throughout the country, every softball player, baseball player, soccer got cut, in volleyball, they're all getting to play now. Just having the opportunity to play is a bonus. It's like, okay, it was taken away. You never thought that could happen. Now you have it back. Take every game like it's your last. And a lot of coaches say that. I know we say that. Besides COVID, there's injuries, there's things that happen throughout the season. I think the motivation should be that you get to play softball.
Hey, Coach, this is Jared with the Daily News again. I've talked to Coach Helton with the football team, Coach Stansberry with the basketball team a little bit about this with their experienced teams that they've had this year. You guys bring back 17 players in a year where there's so many additional challenges, off the field and everything. You guys are trying to get 46 games in now. How beneficial is having that experience?
Yeah, I think experience is huge. I think experience with success builds confidence. And so having that confidence is huge when you play any sport, and having players that have experienced failure and success. So you're kind of familiar with both. But yeah, I'd say that's a bonus, being able to recruit all these kids that are here, since I've been here long enough to do that. Really getting to know them as people. I would say that one of the most special things about our team is the people that are on the team and the coaches I get to work with. I've got 2 great assistants. I've got a great support staff. All the girls will end up helping each other, just kind of what Shelby Nunn was talking about, being available to help someone else. We really want that mentality that it's us, not you. And obviously we have some really talented players, but I think we also have other players that are huge impacts on our teams when called upon. So I think that's something that makes this team pretty special.
Charles with the College Heights Herald again. Obviously last year y'all had a really good team, finished 20-5 before everything happened. Is there any specific area that you want your team to focus on this year and improving, whether that be fielding, batting average, taking more walks, anything like that you want to focus on this season?
I would say, one of the biggest focuses for us is worrying about us and worrying about what we're doing, not who we're playing, focused on getting better at our own personal craft before we try to motivate someone else. And again, kind of like I touched on in the beginning, not getting complacent. I think complacency is deadly. And, there's always somebody better than you. There's always somebody bigger than you, faster than you. All of those things are things that we try to focus on to try to make every player a better player. And then also a better teammate. I think culture is important, and I feel like our culture is good. And I think a good culture wins a lot of games.
Wyatt Richardson for the extra point. You open up next weekend. What do you, I guess, expect from your team?
I expect them to go out there and compete, and to leave it all out on the field. You know, we want everyone to go hard every single second they get a chance. And I would say this past, few weeks, we've challenged them in that way, and they've answered the call. We want them to put on a show, so to speak. There will be some fans there. It's your time to shine. Put on a show.
And, kind of sticking with that, the schedule just got released to us, 46 games, I guess. What are your, just overall thoughts on the schedule? What excites you? What challenges does it present? Those kinds of things.
I think the biggest challenge is keeping everyone healthy, and not just COVID-wise, just overall wise. It's a grind in softball, and usually it's 56. So we're fortunate to have that many games, and we're appreciative that we get to travel, that our athletic department has allowed us to do these things, because we could be cut shorter. So that's the first thing I think is a challenge. I feel like this schedule is one of the toughest ones we've faced since 2015. I feel like we have a great pitching staff, and we've got great position players around them. So we want to be tested. And I don't think you get battle tested if you're always playing, someone that you're supposed to beat. And I think that you need to challenge yourself. And so we really felt like this year that it's important to have some challenges. And as you go throughout the schedule, I think you can see those challenges. And so we need to see where we're at and get ready for conference games in the conference tournament.
Charles with the Herald again. We've just learned that there probably won't be any ticket sales for the games except family members might be allowed to attend. Do you think the loss of any sort of real crowd will have an effect on your team, at least mentally?
I think that watching the other teams play, especially basketball, that always has a huge crowd, and probably football, it looks different on TV, watching them play. And so I'm sure that's a big adjustment for them. I feel like because the parking garage is open, we will have fans out there. Our fans are great. I feel like we have a great support from this community, and we enjoy them. We want as many fans as we can get, even if it is in the parking garage. But I think we'll still be able to fill a couple of those seats. So it'll just be an adjustment, just like everything that everyone's going through.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again. You mentioned the pitching staff, and that's something Kendall mentioned too. She gets a unique perspective on it in the position that she plays, but obviously Kelsey and Shelby do what they do, and that's why they get that preseason honor. But I guess, how have you seen the staff as a whole grow, and how important is it to have that depth, especially this year when you never know maybe who will be able to play and who won't?
I think it's huge, and I feel like we haven't had a staff like what we have now in a long time. I mean, we've had a number one for sure, but I feel like having the depth in the staff, somebody's hurt, somebody's sick, somebody else has to step up, and that's kind of how we've been training. But I will say that having Kendall behind home plate is a game changer. She's a special player. She's good at all parts of the game. She's challenged, and she accepts those challenges. And I feel like she makes our pitching staff better.